Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand.
It's Frank Garcia.
Well, when I say Garcia, you answer, okay? Are your friends auditing?
I audited them to come with me.
I'm El Cyclone from Bolivia. One-man gang. This is my domain. Don't give me no gas. I'll jump on your face, tattoo your chromosomes. This is basic math, but basic math is too easy for you burros. So I'm gonna teach you algebra because I'm the champ. And if the only thing you know how to do is add and subtract, you'll only be prepared to do one thing, pump gas.
Hey, ripping off a gas station is better than working in what, you know?
Orale. Orale. I'm a tough guy. Tough guys don't do math. Tough guys deep fried chicken for a living. Pues orale. You want a wing or a leg, man? Whoever heard of negative and positive numbers? Anybody?
Yeah, negative numbers are like unemployment. 10 million people out of work, that's a negative number.
We're gonna need a lot of Kleenexes. There's gonna be a lot of bloodshed. You ever been to the beach?
Yeah.
You ever play with the sand? Finger man. Come on, finger man. You ever dig a hole? The sand that comes out of the hole, that's a positive. The hole is a negative. That's it. Simple. Anybody can do. -2 plus 2 equals. Nethead. Orale. Answer it. Come on, you know the answer. -2 plus 2, fill the hole. If I had that on my hands, I wouldn't raise it either. Orale. Come on, a -2 plus 2 equals. Anybody can do it. Fill the hole. -2 plus 2 equals. Come on, just fill the hole. You can do it. You're gonna let these burros laugh at you. -2 plus 2 equals. I'll break your neck like a toothpick. Orale.
0.
0. You're right.
Simple. That's it. -2 plus 2 equals 0. You just fill the hole. Did you know that neither the Greeks nor the Romans were capable of using the concept of 0? It was your ancestors, the Mayas, who first contemplated the 0, the absence of value. True story. You burros have math in your blood.
Hey, Kimo sabe todo, the man knows everything. Órale. Kimo sabe.
Orale. Okay. Parentheses means multiply. Every time you see this, you multiply. A negative times a negative equals a positive. A negative times a negative equals a positive. Say it. A negative times a negative equals a positive. Say it. A negative times a negative equals a positive. Again. A negative times a negative equals a positive. A negative times a negative equals a positive. I can't hear you.
A negative times a negative equals a positive.
Louder. A negative times a negative equals a positive. Louder. A negative times a negative equals a positive. Why?
They say I'm caught up in a dream.
Hey, I hope you really liked that video. I know the movie's old, but it's really, really good. And I don't know if I would have passed Algebra 1 without that movie. But I'm sorry I'm not there today. But you guys are awesome, and we can just keep rocking and rolling without me even being there. Chapter 2-1, we're going to work on isolating the variable. And that's just a fancy way of saying get the x by itself. So when you get the x by itself, everything that is with the x, let me change my color here. Everything that is with the x is going to move to the other side of the equal sign. So in order to make that happen, we got to cancel out that +1. To cancel something out, you've got to do the opposite. If this is +1 here, I need to do a -1. But the trick is, what you do to one side of the equal sign, you also have to do to the other side of the equal sign. Okay? So I did a -1 by the x and a -1 on the other side of the equal sign. That's going to go away. Now I have x, bring my equal sign down. 5 minus 1 is 4. My variable is by itself, nothing else to combine. I'm good, that's done. Okay, number 2 looks a little bit different. The x is on the other side, but guess what? We're going to work it the same way. We've got to move this 2 over here so that we can isolate our variable. Fancy way of saying get our x by itself. First thing we got to do, this is a +2. We need to cancel it out, so we're going to do a -2 here. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other side of the equal sign. So that's going to be a -2. This cancels out and goes away. 7 minus 2 is 5. Bring down my equal sign. Bring down my x. The variable's by itself. We are done. Now we're doing number 3, and guess what? We're working it the same way. We're doing the opposite of +4 so we can get our x by itself. The opposite of +4 is -4. -4 on the other side of the equal sign, that's gone. X equals, what's 12 minus 4? Okay. X equals 8. We are done. Number 4. Are you guys bored yet? Because we are doing the same thing over again. We got to get this x by itself. Got to get rid of that 2. Opposite of +2 is -2. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So what's 21 minus 2? Okay. Bring down the equal sign, bring down the x because that's gone. And our variable's all by itself, so we're done. Number 5. I don't even think you guys need me anymore for this. You probably got this down pat. Okay, so we have x plus 3 equals 8. Got to get that x by itself. So what do you guys think we're going to do? Okay, sounds like a plan. Let's minus the 3 here to cancel it out. That goes away. What we do to one side, we got to do to the other. So we're left with x equals 8 minus 3, which is 5. Good job. Uh-oh. This one's minus. What do? Just kidding. We still got to get this x by itself, which means we still need to move this -7 over. But in order to cancel it out, we got to do the opposite of minus. What's the opposite of minus? Okay, +7. That cancels out. What we do to one side of the equal sign, we got to do to the other. So we are left with x equals 12 plus 7, which is 19. Oh, this one looks scary. I don't think I want to do it. Just kidding. If you saw that movie clip, we know a negative times a negative equals a positive. So we've got x, a negative, this is like a pretend 1 right here. So it's a -1 times a -1. So negative times a negative is a +1 equals -5. Does that look a little bit better? Alright, now let's get our x by itself. We got to move this +1 to the other side. In order to do that, we're going to minus a 1, because that's the opposite of plus a 1. Minus a 1, that cancels out. Now we have x equals a -5 plus a -1. They're both negative, so we're going to add them together and keep the sign. What's 5 plus 1? 6, duh. Okay, there we go. So -6 is your answer. Okay, let's take a look at this one. We've got x negative 4 equals x minus 2. We're still getting that x by itself. Opposite of minus 2 is going to be plus 2. Whoops, 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 whoops. So what we do over here, we got to do over here. Bam, that's gone. A negative 4 and a positive 2. The signs are opposite, so we're going to subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. 4 is bigger, so I know that my answer is going to be negative. What's 4 minus 2? Okay. And then bring down my x, and we're good. We're good. We're done. Hey, guess what? We're almost done. We're still doing the same stuff. Get your x by itself. Opposite of plus 10. Minus 10. What we do to one side, we got to do to the other. You're going to be dreaming about that. You're going to be saying that in your sleep. What we do to one side, we got to do to the other. Okay. Over here, we got a negative 6 and a negative 10. They are both negative. So I'm going to add them together and keep the sign. What's 6 plus 10? 16. Good job. Get the x by itself. Opposite of minus 2 is plus 2. Plus 2 on the other side of the equal sign. Negative 8 plus 2. Subtract them and keep the sign of the larger one. So it's going to be a negative. What's 8 minus 2? 6. Good job. Equals x. Aren't y'all glad I don't talk like that all the time? Okay. Every time you'll see one like this, you're going to think of that movie. A negative times a negative equals a positive. A negative times a negative equals a positive. Okay, I'll stop. So this is like a negative 1 times a negative 5. Let's rewrite it so it's not so confusing. So x, negative 1 times a negative 5 is a plus 5. Bring everything down because we didn't change anything yet. That looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Let's get our x by itself. Got to get rid of this 5. Opposite of plus 5 is minus 5. What we do to one side, we got to do to the other. So we're left with x equals, I've got 2 negatives. I'm going to add them and keep my negative sign. 2 plus 5 is 7, and it is negative.